Welcome to Buttermilk Biscuits. We're going to start with a traditional Southern biscuit. When I married into a Southern family, being a Northerner, I never really had biscuits growing up, so I really needed to learn how to make them, and this is the first one I learned how to make, and it's our favorite. A couple tips to get you started. You definitely need to have cold ingredients. Your buttermilk should stay really cold, so you want to measure it. Maybe put it back in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Your butter should be very cold as well. I've got some in the fridge already waiting for me. I'll cut up into little cubes. And your flour, you should definitely kind of sift your flour a little bit. You don't want it really compact. When flour gets shipped, it's stacked on top of each other, so the flour really compresses, and you really kind of want to fluff that up when you use it. I usually just use all-purpose flour. If you can find some white lily flour, it's a little bit softer wheat, so I usually maybe mix about 1 cup of the white lily flour into the all-purpose flour mixture, but you could just do all-purpose, and I often just do it that way. So let's dig in. All right, so we've got our flour measured along with some baking soda, baking powder, and salt. So the next step is to cut in our butter. So we're going to want to take very cold butter. What you're going to want to do is cube the butter into little pieces here, just like I've already done. Or you can take one of these box graters and you can take a frozen stick of butter and you can just grate your butter in. So that makes little pieces already. Now if you were to put the cubed butter in, just go ahead and toss it in and show you how it works here. Kind of want to mix it around. And what you're going to want to do is just give it a squeeze with your fingers, kind of push it out. The goal is to end up with a mixture that has just little tiny bits of cold butter. So you kind of have to be quick in your mixing. Now if you didn't want to use your hands, you could also use one of these cutting tools, but it just depends what your preference is. Alright, so when you've got all the butter broken up into these little tiny kind of bite-sized, pea-sized pieces here, then you're ready to add the buttermilk. So you're just going to pour in your buttermilk. And then you can mix it with a wooden spoon, or I have this really cool tool that I got on King Arthur's website that's like a dough mixer that I like to use. But eventually you're going to use your hands. One of the most important things of biscuit making is that you don't want to overwork the dough. So once you have all the liquid incorporated, you kind of want to just get the dry bits off the bottom here. It's going to be sticky, don't worry about that. I kind of just incorporate all that flour on the bottom, and then you're going to want to turn it out onto your work surface. Sprinkle a little flour. So all this dough is going to get incorporated together, even if there's little dry bits, as you press out the dough. So I don't really worry too much about there being little dry bits, because as you work the dough, it's really going to get mixed in. So you're just going to want to press it out to a really rough kind of texture here. Don't worry about how it looks. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over on each side, and you're going to press it out again. And this is creating layers within your dough. Kind of tuck all the edges in, and then you're going to do it again. You're going to fold it over once on this side, once on this side, turn it around, and press it out. And this time you're going to press it out to however thick you're going to want to make your biscuits. Now, if you want really tall, big biscuits, you're going to want to, make the dough about 3/4 inch thick, maybe even an inch, depending how big you want to go. What I like to do is press it out so I have a good space with my biscuit cutter. So I think I need to make it just a little bit longer so I can get 8 full biscuits. All right, so then you're going to want to start over here. Just press straight down to cut your biscuit. And you'll see that you can see the little layers on the sides here. See all those layers? So you want to place the biscuits on a baking sheet that has a strip of parchment on it. I have this lovely reusable parchment that I love. And you want to put them kind of close together because the steam is going to escape out the sides, and if they're closer together, the steam is going to be a little bit more trapped and kind of push them a little bit higher. So off we go to our 400-degree oven.